Welcome everyone, this is Janet Rangi. Thank you so much for always coming on my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for subscribing and following. I can't thank you enough. So today's topic, I'll go straight to the point, is about bank statements, because many people have been asking me about bank statements, and I say yes, let me deal with it in a video, and hopefully this can reach 1 or 2 people. My goal is to leave you better than you found me, as always. Okay, so bank statements. Let's start with bank statements. What is the law? First of all, it's good to understand what is the law. Some of you go there and you think maybe it's just routine. No, this is not routine. Every school in the United States that offers an I-20 knows this is the law, and they will not issue an I-20 until you demonstrate financial status able to take care of yourself for the cost of 1 year. So, so it will depend from school to school. So many people ask me, then Janet, how much is that number? Like, people want me to give them the exact number. I can't have the exact number because the law does not say that. It says that students, international students, should be able to demonstrate that they'll be able to pay fees for 1 year, accommodation for 1 year, everything that you need to take care of yourself for 1 year in that school. So let's say you go to a private school that costs $40,000. So maybe the fees is $28,000, room and board is another $10,000, books, etc., etc. So you have to look at that school, see the total amount. That is the law, and they will not give you unless you demonstrate that. If you go, let's say, to a community college that it only maybe costs you $10,000, or let's say $15,000 per year, obviously that's all they need. Now you can have more, but I don't think you can have less. More is always good. So we had to start with the law, because I received some questions, people saying, Janet, what if I have paid for tuition and I have someone accommodating me, or I've paid for accommodation? Do you think the embassy will deny me just because I don't have a good bank statement? And I said, if they check, but if they don't check, well, you can get away with it, but it's the law. So I always say, when you're dealing with these countries, just go by the law. You'll find out that you are one of those people. They will ask the bank statement and they say, hey, we see you are going to this university here, it costs you this amount in 1 year, and so why are you presenting a statement that is less? So I hope you're on the same page. That's why I always say, before you choose these schools, look at the cost, because you're stuck with that decision for almost 1 semester, sometimes even for 1 year. So it's important for you to make the right decisions. Okay, so having said that, now we understand the law. I don't think some of you, or many of you watching me now, I don't think you'll ask me these questions in terms of how much. It depends with the school you apply. The minimum has to be the cost of 1 year. Okay, now let's come to the most common question. Does the bank statement has to be in my name? No, it doesn't have to be in your name. It can come from a relative, and I think even friends. I don't know about Canada, but the schools in the United States just want you to make sure you provide that documentation that you have that money on your account. Now, if it's not in your name, obviously you'll have to write a letter, or you have to sign an affidavit of support. Whoever is coming to, like whoever will be taking care of your expenses has to sign a letter saying they will support you. And some of you ask me, Janet, so where do we find the paperwork? The school, the financial section, these people are thorough. If you go under the finances, how to pay for school fees, and you go under international students, obviously you'll find that information. If you need to print the affidavit of support, the school will guide you. If you need a letter, the school will guide you. If I were me, if both of them appear, just to be on the safe side with the embassy, I'll have my sponsor write a letter. They are willing to sponsor me. Don't write long letters. Straight to the point, be polite, and sign the affidavit of support. Now, the paperwork of affidavit of support, again, as I said, the school will provide it on the website. Okay, so some people ask me, Janet, but it's hard for me to find bank statements. So you need to make friends, you need to know people, but most importantly, if you have a good job, remember, loans are always an option. You can borrow loans from home. I have a follower from Canada who actually borrowed a loan. Especially if you get a student visa and you'll be able to work, you'll be able to pay that loan back. Now, this is the catch. A loan makes sense. I'm just saying, if it were me, I mean, it doesn't hurt. I'm not saying it's good for the embassy, because I had someone tell me, Janet, when I was listening to the embassy, I had him denied someone a visa because the bank statement belonged to an organization. I didn't know it needs to belong to an individual. So be careful. If I were me, I'll just do what they say. If they say someone has to sponsor you, I don't want those company letters. Me, I just want an individual to sign that paper, wherever the school says. Now, sometimes I've told you, you go to the embassy, this is based on experience. There are people who come to me and tell me, Janet, they did not ask a bank statement. And I tell you, it doesn't mean that they did not. It's part of the requirement. The school has to get that bank statement. So if the embassy feels like they don't have to, they don't have to, because they know you already demonstrated to the school in America before they issued an I-20. But I always tell my people, be prepared. If they ask, you need to remove that bank statement. But do not put all your eggs in the one basket that I have to have a good bank statement. I have to show my ties back home. I have to do all these things. And then you forget basics like, what exactly is taking you to America, and why America? That is a very good question. Why America? Like, these courses are everywhere. Okay, the course you're taking probably is back home. So you need to have good reasons why. And I've made embassy videos. If you've not watched those videos, just go down here. You will see them. I've talked about how to answer these questions. Okay, now, what am I saying? If you don't have a bank statement, you can always borrow money. Another important thing, okay? Important thing. If you do not find a bank statement, does it mean you give up? No. Me, I don't believe in giving up. Okay, I don't believe in giving up. Now, you cannot go borrow a loan, for example. Let me not use the example of the loan, but this is important. When you present a bank statement, I almost lost my thought of train. Okay, if you're going to show them a bank statement, okay, make sure the transactions are very natural, at least for the past 6 months. Normal looking transactions. What does Janet mean by normal looking transactions? Some of you probably just went and dumped $10,000 3 days before the embassy, or you just go and drop $50,000. That's suspicious. Like, where did this money come from? Me, I know even here in America, if I want to buy something, like if you are going to buy a car or I'm going to purchase something big, and all of a sudden they see a huge transaction, they want to know how. Like, where did this money come from? Where did this payment come from? So it's suspicious. So it has to show like expenses in and out, withdrawals, and deposits. Withdrawals and deposits, like a natural course of an account. And then in the end, the balance has to be the amount that you need to go to school. Or alternatively, that bank statement can be natural, but the deposit was put maybe in the savings account 6 months ago, 10 months ago. That is natural. It's normal for a bank statement in the savings account not to be used, but you cannot go and dump money in one day unless you have a letter from a bank saying you got a loan, or you have a letter from somewhere saying how you got this money. You can tell the embassy, hey, I have a lot of property and I decided to sell my house. I decided to sell my vehicle. I decided to sell my tractors. I decided to sell my properties, and you have receipts so that it can explain. So don't give them room to deny you. Me, I always say, when you see them questioning something, and sometimes when you hand over and you with some explanation. Okay? Now, some people think, okay, maybe this I've heard from one of my followers. He was discouraged and said, I don't think they trusted me and the bank statement. Sometimes you have to look the part. Okay, I'm one of those people that tells you it doesn't matter how you dress with the embassy, so long as you're neat and everything, but your presentation has to show that you actually own this money. Okay? Because you own it. Some of us, we are very simple people, but your mannerism and everything, I mean, it's sad. It's sad for me to say these things, but we are all humans. Embassy, they are humans. They can judge people based on what they see. First impressions, whether we like it or not, first impressions matter. Okay? Are your clothes well ironed? Did you take care of hygiene? Did you brush your teeth? Is everything moisturized? Your hair is well combed? Your hands are clean? Little things like those, people can make judgments, and that, I'm not saying it's correct, but it's not right. But I'm just saying, for me, I'll give myself every chance that I get. Okay, I can tell you, I had a trouser suit when I went to the embassy. Okay, it was a light blue, sky blue, nice trouser suit with nice heels. They were black heels, I'll never forget. Okay, there were shoes, nice heels, long. I looked nice and tall, and I was just having my smile. Okay, I say hi. You know, like, first of all, put them in the right mood. Anyway, that's beyond us. All I'm saying is, not beyond us, I'll make videos on that. Please, when you carry that bank statement, it should reflect you. Okay, reflect that you have a job. Reflect that you deserve the loan that was put on your bank statement. Okay, so those are just the few things that I picked up from bank statements. The most important is have those natural transactions. Don't just go and dump money unless you have an explanation why you dumped that money. Okay, but having said that, many of you have a problem finding bank statements. Okay, Janet, can I use a bank statement for someone in America? I don't see why not. You know, the embassy understands that we have what do we call social ties. They know we come here and we have roommates. They know we come here and we have family and friends that will, you know, help us to stand on our own. So they know that when we first come here, we are coming and we'll find people to help us. So there is no right answer, there is no wrong answer. Okay, but if your sponsor is in America, personally for me, I didn't even have a bank statement, I'll be honest. But I had a letter from a sponsor saying they are going to cover the tuition, my stay in America. That's all I had. I'll be honest, for me, I did not have a bank statement. And they didn't ask for it, but they asked for the letter. When I gave my I-20, it was accompanied by the letter from my sponsor saying they are going to cover my fees, room and board for my program. So, you know, they look at different things. So I always say, if you do a good job on DS-160, I think what they are looking at is to fill the empty spots. Like, what did we see on this DS-160 application? Maybe the job was not so strong, so let's look at the bank statement. That's why some people, they ask bank statements and some they don't. Or maybe they just feel suspicious. They say, okay, although America has given this person I-20, hey, we are here on the ground, we know these people. So we have to confirm one or two things. Me, I don't know how they make their decisions. But just know, yes, I mean, when they say you can have a letter from a sponsor written or sign an affidavit of support, I didn't read anywhere saying, but the sponsor cannot come from Australia, but the sponsor cannot come from America, but the bank statement, I've not seen that. If any of you, please, you've seen that, or it has happened to you, or the embassy gave you as a reason, please go down in these comments. That's how I learn. That's how most of us will learn, is because if data, Janet collects data after doing this for many years, people come with their comments, they tell me their experiences, and I can tell you the most difficult is usually in the embassy. So that's why I do embassy videos over and over and over and over again. I see success, I see failures. In the end, it's not our decision. But me, I always say, take that step. Some of us are so scared to make the next step. And by the way, you will never know if you never make that step. Me, I always say, if you don't try, you will never know. Me, I'd rather try. Someone who is denied a visa, and by the way, if you're listening to me and you are denied a visa, I have relatives that went to the embassy 5 times. I had them myself. I have a follower that went to the embassy 10 times. Okay, so don't give up. I know it's discouraging, but when you get denied, just treat it as any other form of bad news. Take a deep breath. It's unbelievable. You will be in denial, okay? But it happens to the best of us. It happens to all of us, okay? Go, don't blame people. Don't blame yourself. You did your best, okay? If they tell you something, it will be even better. Most of them don't even tell you why they denied you. But if they tell you, you tell them, thank you. I'll work on that next time when I come back. You always want to leave a good message. You never know, she can go or he can go and type in your chat, this is what the client says, that they'll be back, you know. Me, I will not leave them alone. I'll say, yeah, you denied me this time, but I'll go and work on it. I hope to have a strong application next time. Be natural with them. Me, I always say, I'm not going to give up, okay? Now, you're not going to just turn around and go the next day, because the law, by the way, allows you to go as many times as you want. That I've read. They don't stop you. You can go as many times as you want. Just know application fees are non-refundable. Okay, because once you go in there, it takes them time to fax things, to read your paperwork, human labor, the embassy needs lights, everything expenses. So you can't go and say, I want my money back. No, you should have made that decision before you went there. But if you can pay, you go back, they say they will not stop you, they will still give you an interview, but they always say, what is the material difference this time? But the reason, like, what has changed? Like, did you have a baby? Did you go back to school? Now did you get married? And having said that, I'll make another one. I'll make another video, I think. I don't elongate this one too much, but every time I talk about the embassy, points. But what have we said about bank statements? If you're coming in, let's go back in the beginning of this video. It can be in anyone's name, so long as they are willing to sign an affidavit of support and tell the embassy they will support you. The cost has to cover 1 year. What is 1 year cost? School from school. It depends from one school to another. One school could be expensive, another one could be cheaper. But you have to demonstrate that you'll be able to pay for 1 year. If I were you, I'll carry the same bank statement that I used in America. I just take it home. Why look for difference? There's no need for you to look for different bank statements, but hey, I understand. But whatever bank statement you send to America, you just go ahead and reuse it in the embassy. Unless now you've used the money and you don't have the money in that account, then I don't see why you have to keep on having different bank statements. Just carry the same. Okay, so if you have any questions, please go in the comment section. We love you so much for following Janet Rangi, janetrangi.com. If you have any questions, janetrangi67@gmail.com. I'm grouping people and I find you in classes. That's how I help you. I like it one-on-one instead of typing. I get to know you and answer. And then when I answer one person, 50 of you benefit. Some classes we are 50, some we are even 100. And when I'm answering those questions, everyone is happy. Okay, so thank you so much for following. I will see you in the next video. Merci beaucoup. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much for coming. Subscribe. We love you so much for subscribing on Janet Rangi. Without you, I can't do this. Okay, I hope I left you better than you found me today. Muchas gracias. See you. Kwaheri. Bye bye. Love you. Bye.